you're one of our haters who are out there watching.
I want to warn people about hypnoporn.
We need to stay meta.
Stop that.
Need new tires? Like what?
If Jim would shut up for a second.
Oh, high fidelity.
Okay, don't tell me to shut up.
I'm not whining.
I eat doggies. I eat doggies. Feels like a party.
Stop that.
It's a war. They have made it so that I cannot be celebrating July 4th.
I don't care. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend. I don't care. How do I think? That's what I think. I don't care.
This is 6 Degrees of Stew. You don't need to stay meta, but I'm glad you're here.
Disclosure. Raiding parties. Humans are abducted permanently off the surface of Earth and have many uses to visiting races. First of all, as a food source for the reps and greys and maybe others. Allies. Slaves for building things, serving various races, trading, bartering, study, as in scientific study. Earth is a desirable vacation spot. Access to minerals, precious stones, topside use of land. Underground bases jumping off point to other systems. Breeding and genetic programs with human females. Black star, dark star energy. Used to power spacecraft. This type of energy is highly prized in the multiverse. It puts humans on the level with other ET races. They don't appreciate that.
Kerry Cassidy. She is also an artist. How are you, Steph? Wasn't that good?
That was spectacular. I mean, I was like, wow, does she think this is good?
Hi, Mer. That's only a sample. And if you're a fan of Knowledge Fight, they do a good segment on her music. Dan discovers her album, and he plays a lot more of her music.
I remember that.
Yeah, she has
remember
like
that.
A reggae segment. She has quite an extensive album.
Oh God.
So,
I'm gonna make my own album.
Why not? Anything's possible these days, right? You can do whatever you want.
Suck. Things suck. Things really suck.
I'm gonna make one too. Just, I don't know. The world's on fire.
We need a beatbox. We need someone to do like Police Academy style beatboxing for us.
Honestly. Let's just set up my screens here. I'm actually more prepared than I have ever been. One would think. Let's see. Here we go. Look at that. I am prepared. I was going to. Yes, I did sign up for BitChute. I have so many accounts everywhere. I have BitChute, I have Odyssey, I have accounts on all these weird things because I follow all these people.
Gaia?
Not Gaia yet. I might have to. Who knows? I'm not paying for it. I wanted to tonight. Steph and I were talking before, and we came on here just because you kind of feel hopeless, and you don't right now with the Trump administration and things happening right now, and the executive orders and things. You just kind of feel helpless. So I had reached out to a friend of mine about, resources for the LGBTQIA plus community. And he shared with me, there is a tracker for, let me open this up, 2025 anti-trans bills in the United States. And you can track this, which is helpful for knowing what's happening across the country and in your state and your local areas so that you can help protect those around you, yourself, write to your congresspeople, your senators, congressmen, all of that. So I'm going to put that up there. But I think it's important that we stay on top of the bills that they're trying to pass, bills that have passed, haven't passed. I think there's one listed on there already for this year. And then also, Mur, I think you shared it in my Discord. There's an immigration policy tracker now too, as well. So I'm going to share that too. So you can track the immigration policies that are taking place in 2025 too, so that we can all stay on top of that too, to let those who are representing us know that we're still here. Just because there's a new administration, it doesn't mean that we haven't forgotten, or we're not going to still hold their feet to the fire. And we're not going to let this happen without us holding them to account. Yes, also, Mer, very good point. Support trans folks GoFundMe's. They're going to want to move to safer states. You're absolutely correct. Very well put there, Mer. I also have Races of Texas. They've been around for some years. They started it was 2 people in a 1-room office, and now they work nationally. They have bond funds. They help family migrants in the country. Law cases, a lot of times, lawyers are hard to get. It's a great organization. That's a place that you can help too. And then coming up will be Border Angels. They provide water and resources at the border, help explain what's happening, what's going on to migrants, to help them as they're coming in. And
I have one also to recommend.
Yes,
I can
please do,
paste
Steph.
the address. Okay.
Where did you put it at? Oh, you're going to. Okay, I'm sorry. And if anybody comes across resources, please send them our way. You can DM me on Twitter, on Blue Sky. If you're on my Discord, you can let me know about them. They're also targeting any minority population you can think of right now. They're going after it. If you're not a cis white person, a cis white male, I should say, because they're after women's rights too, correct? In the United States. But yeah, any resources you can think of or that you know of, we'll be glad to share every Wednesday as we can. We'll put them up and on our social medias too, to help in any way that we can. Okay, let me get down here. Oh, okay, good. I'll share this. And what is this organization step? Oh, Florence Immigration Project. Okay, good.
Yeah, we heard about them when we lived in Bisbee, and Stanhope did some donation for them, and we donate to them every year. So
good. I'll put that in my Bobo bookmarks to add to resources. Excellent. Good. All right. I always like to start at if we can, or to provide resources. And also I'm going to put up one more time, because people are still suffering and they're going to continue to have housing needs, clothing, shelter, resources. As you can imagine, the fires are still going. People are still displaced. I have the mutual aid fund for Los Angeles still. Let me scroll down here.
And there's another fire, and they said that it consumed 5,000 acres in 2 hours.
You're kidding me. I didn't see that. I've been trying. I've been on social media, but trying not to read too much.
I want to
balance,
fact check myself. I just want to fact check myself. But Hugh fire breaks out near Cassidy Lake in Los Angeles. Yeah, explodes to over 5,000 acres in just 2 hours. It's called the Hughes fire.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I keep thinking of the L7 song, One More Thing.
Yeah. It's just over and I mean, honestly. And then you have all these violent people that got back out, released. And we were talking about that, Steph and I, before we came on. And so we were going to do something a little, not that it was serious. I mean, it is when you talk about conspiracy theories, but it was a little bit heavier of a topic. So we decided, and Steph kind of didn't really know exactly what we were going to cover, but it's going to be Kerry Cassidy did a pilot for TruTV, where you watch Impractical Jokers, and there's some other shows on there. Billy in the Street, I think, used to be on there, and some other shows. I only ever watched Impractical Jokers on there. But she made a pilot TV show with Bill Ryan, who used to be her partner in life and in research. So we're going to watch that tonight and try to have some fun. And then there's another thing too, fun after it. So we will see what Kerry Cassidy had to do and how this TruTV show looks like. It starts out with a bang too.
And not with a whimper.
No. I do know the reason behind her cheetah thing, and I forget. I listen to it somewhere. I'll find it. Why she does this. Shadow Operations, the Mars Project.
Now, the government's most shocking cover-up.
What is that? What's it doing?
Life on Mars, extraterrestrial and human.
What you see here is a underground Martian subway. Is it possible they've already been there but haven't told us?
Investigators Bill Ryan
I always
and
forget
Kerry
Bill
Cassidy
looks like he's in the
uncovered
outback every time I
evidence of
see
a
him.
top secret Mars program that's been hidden for decades.
Phase 1 began early 1960s.
A space program based on ET technology.
They had an original seat from a UFO.
Men who claim they've been to Mars and back.
Why is it essential that I go? And he said, because the survival of the human race depends on it.
Eyewitness testimony.
And then we see this beam shoot up through the clouds, up into space.
And dangerous confrontations.
It has
Everything
everything
you
like
know
all the rest of
is
them. That
wrong.
flash, overwhelming.
What you think
Excitement.
is real is not. What you've been told are lies.
There's been a coup on planet Earth.
And it is our job to reveal it.
There's only one team whistleblowers can trust with
Can
the
I just
truth.
say something?
Yes.
And I had made a post about this earlier on Blue Sky. The people who, and I retweeted someone on Twitter who made a similar comment about the people who were so afraid of like deep state and conspiracy theories and stuff like that have sure done an awful lot to elevate it into becoming a reality.
Honestly, did you see that it's somebody in Trump's administration that wants to use AI to create mRNA cancer vaccinations or something? I didn't exactly read the thing, but I know it involves cancer and mRNA. And I was like, are QAnon and conspiracy people seeing this shit? Like, you voted for this.
Well, here I can explain that away for you. Some people will trickle out of these movements as certain things come along. Like every conspiracy theorist has a line in the sand, you know. And oh God, what's his name? Mick West discusses it in his book Escaping the Rabbit Hole about
I just
the line
saw that
in the
book in
sand.
my Audible collection. I was like, I should listen to that again.
And it is a good book. And the line in the sand, some of the stuff Trump does, the mRNA, you know, the HB1 visas, some people will drop off because of that. But others, and probably the majority, will just make an excuse like, oh, this is, you know, like, I don't know exactly what they're saying, but I'll come up with something. A conspiracy theorist would say something like, well, we don't like the mRNA, but we do like the AI. And Trump is a white hat who is using this technology to expose the real evil.
Yeah.
And then you're done. And then you wipe it away and you
forget
go
it never
on.
happened.
Yeah. No one's talking about CRT anymore. No one's talking about the Haitian immigrants anymore. It's almost as if this shit just comes and goes with
exactly
the flow.
Oh my gosh, they're incredible. There's the book Steph and I were talking about. Sorry, it's Amazon. You can look for it at other places. That was the top search result. I do buy stuff on Amazon. I know capitalism and all this stuff. Jeff Bezos sucks. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's
yeah. But do buy Chobani yogurt. That kind of helps make up for it.
Yeah, I do actually. I love Chobani yogurt.
I convinced my husband to buy it.
Kerry Cassidy.
It's really good,
Shadow
actually. It's
Operations.
a good
The
quality
Mars
yogurt.
Project.
And as we know from Knowledge Fight, the owner is a good person.
Yes, an excellent person.
Look at that. Right.
I have so much
Focus on
respect
the
for
ridge.
him. Yes.
And sweep across slowly.
A lot of this
to the
beginning
right.
here is
We were
promo
in
till
a
they get
remote
into the
part
meat.
of the Utah
They're still
desert.
just giving you
My
the
partner,
look what's
Kerry
coming up.
Cassidy, and me, Bill Ryan.
You'll notice too, because you asked about her eye before. It's
Every
not
step in our
So like she
investigation had
definitely
led us
had Bell's
here,
palsy and
out
just
in the middle
never
of nowhere.
sought medical
If our
treatment.
sources were correct, we were closing in on a military installation, a hidden base for a top secret government.
She got the wrong
space program,
crystal.
one that's been sending
did.
people to Mars.
I don't think her.
Let's go
What do they call
closer.
that
But we'll
healing?
get
that
closer
they,
to that
hold
on the
one
road.
second.
We knew we had to proceed cautiously.
The healing over the phone or
Reiki.
whatever.
Reiki.
Remote healing. Oh, Reiki
Oh
too.
well, yeah. Some people will do Reiki over the phone.
Oh
When I was a conspiracy theorist, I didn't believe in it, but I was looking into like getting licensed for it, and then I was like, "This feels wrong," so I never went any further than thinking about it.
I said to Taj yesterday because I was watching. I've been watching a lot of the streamers like down at the corner, and it's not like normally I would watch them once in a while, but in just like this one guy in a matter of 30 minutes had made $150, like just from the one chat you could see, not all the other ones going into. And I'm like, to be that credulous and to just grift over just streaming down there, you're not actually doing anything. You're not helping anybody just because you're standing there and pointing your camera and going.
Well,
you know,
you do talk yourself into thinking that you're helping people. That's like the first stage before you become a grifter. And luckily, I never became a grifter. But
doing that.
what you tell yourself is, oh, it's not really real, but it works for them, so I'm still providing them a service.
Yeah, Mer, they do.
That's
and then
what
they complain. It's disgusting.
And yeah, but money is a disease. And one of our friends told me that. I was like, wow, yeah, it is. And there was a study, I heard about this on NPR like a bunch of years ago, that they did a study with monopoly money, and the people who were given the least amount of monopoly money were the most generous with it.
Of course. I believe that.
So,
I would believe it. Yep. I
Yep.
would wholeheartedly believe that.
We did not want to be seen. But it was too late.
It sure
Suddenly,
does.
They blocked the road. Security guards.
Right to the
with guns.
eagle's nest.
This wasn't good. Not good.
But not because they
at
love
all.
Hitler.
Leave the camera alone. Camera's wrong.
Stage
1 month earlier.
crisis
Secret
actors.
Mars space program.
1 month
A
earlier.
military base
Ooh, what
on
happened?
the Red Planet. A mysterious syndicate concealing extraterrestrial contact. Kerry Cassidy and I had been hearing rumors about a Mars
MJ-12?
cover-up for years.
Oh,
We've tried to find its purpose and who was behind it. But in all our years as investigators, we'd never found anything close to a smoking gun. Not until we got a call from a man named Gordon Novell.
What did he say?
He said he'd been given some photographs. He wanted to show them to us.
Did he say what else?
No, but he doesn't want to meet at his house.
I was negligent in looking up Gordon Novell. And when I tried to look him up again, I couldn't find anything. So he must not be that big in the conspiracy world, or I would have found a lot on him. But I did on the other people.
He wants to meet at an empty lot. So obviously he wants to avoid surveillance.
Gordon Novell would know to take precautions. He's worked in government intelligence for decades.
They all do.
There he is.
I can't wait till Ken Burns narrates one of these.
Gordon
I would love
Novell
that.
is said to be part of a secret
Or
group
Peter
known as the
Coyote.
Aviary. Insiders with high security
Or,
clearance who share
Hal
information
Pudov.
on UFOs and ET contact.
John Lithgow.
He wants this information out there, and he knows a lot of powerful forces want to keep it hidden.
I got something I want to show you. This is convincing evidence that there has been life
I
on
can't
Mars.
take Bill Ryan's hat.
Wait a minute here.
These are NASA photos, the best stuff that I've seen to date.
We'd both seen intriguing photos of the surface of Mars before, but nothing like this. These photos had much better resolution than anything NASA had released publicly. The images clearly showed things on the surface, things we could not explain.
These are pretty authentic looking. So where'd you get these?
They came from my friends at Langley.
Langley, Virginia, headquarters of the CIA.
What do you know about this thing, Gordon?
It could be air transfer tubes. Is it being used to move water, or is people walking through it? What is that? What's it doing there? It's certainly not natural. That's metal. And it's on Mars, and this has been a real eye-opener for me.
I didn't know that stuff.
developing
That's
Mars.
interesting.
Somebody
That is a fun fact.
Doesn't say it was an Americans, doesn't say it's ET, but I would say from the technology I'm looking at here, it don't look like it was made in the USA.
It don't look like it
Air
was made in the
transfer
USA.
tubes, tunnels, structures that were not natural. Novell seemed convinced that someone had established some sort of base on Mars. But how were they getting there? Novell's next photo was a clue.
Now, what is that?
It's awfully high. It's taken from a shuttle. It's higher than the plane should be flying.
It's obviously some type of sophisticated flying triangle.
Obviously.
We'd heard talk of a mysterious fleet of triangular craft, but Novell told us they were real, and that
Steph,
they could
oh
be
my
connected to a
gosh.
secret Mars program
Are
that's
you
been going on for
Gonna
decades.
be excited.
I heard.
Your man is gonna show up in this.
Hoagland's in this
Yes.
one. I was
swear
like,
to God.
I was thinking this was giving me strong Hoagland vibes, and I love it because they're evident. Well, Hoagland's evidence specifically is basically, oh fuck, this document's been through the Xerox machine too many times. It's proof.
Hoagland is in this. You're gonna love it. Yeah, Hoagland
Yes.
makes an appearance. Yes.
I'll
He does.
post the Rational Wiki link for Hoagland.
Yep, he's in here.
Okay.
Heard that they reverse engineered it in the 60s.
You're saying reverse engineered from an ET craft.
Absolutely.
What's the range and capability of these starships? Do you have any idea?
They can do anything they want. You know, if you got ET technology, it would be pretty quick and pretty fast.
If there is a secret Mars program, who's behind it? The US, China, North Korea, the Russians, or someone else? Does our government have access to ET technology? If so, why are they keeping it so secret?
The
Why?
whole reason for the cover-up
Look how
is
interested Kerry
economics.
is, though. She's like
Money.
into it. She's like,
If you don't have to pay for fuel, then the world changes dramatically. The banks live off of oil and gas.
So they're just protecting their own
They're
interests.
protecting the banks, and banks run the world.
he wants to
Gordon
say
Novell was
it's so
correct,
bad. He doesn't
it
want to
could
just say
have
banks.
huge implications
You know what he
for the
means.
future of the human race. This hidden technology could end world poverty. It could also put the energy corporations out of business.
So it's all about energy, and energy determines finance, and that determines the
Finance
secrecy.
determines the politics, which determines the secrecy.
We couldn't simply take his word for it.
We couldn't.
We needed to find out exactly what was happening on Mars. The first clue.
Because
lay
we're
in the NASA
conspiracy
photographs
theorists,
you've given
and
us.
we never just take
No.
word
Those
for it.
photographs of the
Never.
tubes, I mean, they look unnatural to me. But I want to go cautiously with this. I want to get a second opinion on the tubes. I want to get somebody who knows a little bit about geology more than you and me.
Right. So get a geologist to look at the photographs.
Yeah.
But are we going to tell him that they're on Mars? Are we just going to lay the photograph out and say, can you tell us what you think this is?
Yeah, we shouldn't front load him. You're quite right. And geology is geology. The rules apply whatever planet you're on. So if the things aren't natural, they must be artificial. There's no other choice.
There was no time to waste. We arranged a meeting the next day with an independent scientific
Exactly,
expert.
Muggsy, and welcome.
Ron
I know
Nix
exactly
is an
what he
engineering geologist. He's been analyzing desert formations for more than 30 years.
This needs an explanation. What have we got here?
We showed him the photos. We didn't tell him they were from Mars.
What are we looking at?
Well, I'll here. What is Jesus.
That looks like an autopsy incision, actually.
It does.
Muggsy would back me up.
In my experience, I haven't seen anything that looks quite like that. Take a look at these crescent-shaped features. Do they not have a higher reflectance than the
They're not
surrounding
geologists, sir.
stuff?
You
As if
are.
they're
Why are
made
you
out of
asking
material
them?
that's not the same as this?
This feature here,
the bright spot, clearly has a much higher reflectance than
I
anything
didn't even look
else
this
in
guy
that
up
image.
because I don't think
Really see
I
it.
think he plays a
Maybe it's
geologist
an
in real life.
engineered structure. When I try to explain it,
It
with
does,
the principles that I'm used to, it does not look natural to me.
Mars or not, Ron Nix would know a natural formation when he saw it. He said this wasn't natural.
Well, let me ask you the question: where did you get these prints?
we were given these prints by somebody
What?
who has significant
I
insider
just
connections.
want to say
We're
that.
told that it's on Mars.
Hang on 1 second. I got you. There we go.
Sorry.
No, I was looking. I have to switch between screens, so I was going for the
When-
pause. I went the wrong way.
When conspiracy theorists and hoaxers demand proof, they demand levels of proof that would pass like judicial scrutiny. But then when they're trying to present their proof to you, it's essentially Madonna at the end of the Like a Prayer video telling the guard he didn't do it and and the
Yeah.
guard lets him out. Like, you demand higher levels of proof to accept reality, but the levels of evidence that you require, that you expect other people to accept, is it's just ridiculous.
Well, and when they got these photos, like the guys said, because I wrote down notes as I was watching this, they said it's pretty authentic looking, but they have no way of authenticating it. This guy just said, I got him from a pal at Langley. They can't check.
And like,
they're just
okay.
trusting this guy's word that he said, I got it from my boy at Langley.
And
Okay.
well, there's this is just like Dr. Stephen Jones's evidence of nanothermite particles in the World Trade Center dust. We're missing chain of custody.
Yeah.
That's what we're missing. This is inconclusive because you are not giving us chain of custody. You are not giving us reasonable levels of evidence, which you would demand otherwise. So
If I was like, hey, Steph, I have this amazing picture I got from my pal back at college, I would give you a name and tell you where we were. This is where it was taken. I wouldn't just be like my pal at college. You would be like, well, where was this taken, Shelby? I would expect you to ask me more questions, not to
or
just
you
be like,
just wouldn't
cool.
show it to me. You'd be like, I
No.
can't really show this to people. It's too confusing. I'm not like,
Yeah.
there's, and I think it's important that we keep, and I know like I go over this over and over and over again about like all the contradictions that they make and stuff. But I think it's important that we do look at that, because studies have shown that these arguments can seep into your brain even if you are actively resisting them. So I think it's important to always be aware of these contradictions. I call it shower screaming, because when I'm like listening to Art Bell, like when I'm taking a shower at night, I want to scream at my phone, and I can't because he's long dead. He wouldn't hear me. But, I think it's important that we do this like version of shower screaming where we're looking for this. The more we can see their inaccuracies and their lack of logic, the better off.
I think so too. I think it's important. Like when I was watching this, I always think of the mindset of, I used to watch these shows with a very uncritical eye for entertainment, and I just went along with it without stopping and going, wait a second, what did they say? What was that book they flashed in the background? And now I'm like, I really should have looked at this. And I'm glad we do this, because it does need to be, like you just said.
And
his boy at Langley
sorry.
could be pumping gas at the local Exxon for all we know.
Yeah. And hey, the footage of Flight 77 hitting the Pentagon was taken from a nearby gas station. So I'm sure like I think the Pentagon's, that's by Langley, right? I can't believe I don't know this.
It
but,
should be within that area. The FBI, like that's all
well,
over that.
So, hey, literally it could be
I
someone
toured the
pumping
Pentagon,
gas.
and I can't even tell you if it is. You don't get to see much when you tour the Pentagon. I toured it in college as part of my criminal justice program. You don't get to see shit. But yeah.
But
It's not that impressive.
well, that's to cover up the missile that penetrated the Pentagon.
Can I tell you when
I'm
we were
kidding.
there, it was when they were paranoid about Furbies and they thought Furbies would repeat sensitive classified information. We
Oh,
got
I
told
love
that story. Yeah.
Oh, Teddy Ruxpin, Secret
It was
Agent Teddy
so
Ruxpin.
fun. And now when I've seen it so debunked and I've seen the more recent stories about it, I'm like, I was there for that. I was there.
But anyway, I think as whether you're listening to this stuff on your own or in like a group setting like this, I think it's important to do these mental exercises where you look for the contradictions. And you know what? I encourage people to do it in stuff that they agree with too.
Oh, I did. I was watching. Who was I watching? And I was like, hey, it was somebody I respect. And I was like, I don't know if I think that's correct. And I can't remember. It was recently. And I went and looked at other sources because it didn't feel right to me. And I think that's okay, even if you trust somebody. I think it's good. And I think we should all do that, even if it's a reputable source, even if it's somebody you trust and you feel like something's a little off or it needs further research. And if you check it out and it's good, then there's no harm, no foul, right? I mean, I think we need to be critical.
Tell us about the Furbies a little, because I might have heard that in glancing, and like I kind of.
They thought that Furby, like when you originally got Furbies, it was just a technology where they were parrots, but they could only repeat so many phrases. And I'll find the article about Furbies because it's been debunked. They actually could not. They thought China was building them, as I recall, as a spy thing, but they did not have that technology in them. So they were banned from the Pentagon,
panic.
the FBI, all federal buildings. They couldn't be anywhere. Furbies never had that ability. They were this little thing that could repeat and be like, hi, bye. They couldn't be like, and the FBI tomorrow is going to raid. They couldn't record that information. So it's hilarious.
Okay. I just looked this up. I was like, I'll bet you there's an American Hysteria podcast episode about that. And I was right.
Yeah.
And I haven't listened. I haven't listened to that podcast in a while, but American Hysteria, I think it's iHeart Media, and I think it's Cool Zone. I think it's like a Robert Evans related thing. And it is a good podcast. So
yeah, it was a whole total spy panic. These things are doing, and you got to remember too, when Furbies came out, I graduated college in, 1998-ish. We got married in 99. So around that 98, 99, I can't remember the exact year. So that we're talking pre the technology we have today. And they thought these toys were doing this level of sophisticated spying. It's absolutely absurd. But
wow, people are, wow.
It was great. It was pretty great. I'll find the article, though. It's pretty good, the debunk.
Originals.
I mean,
we're not trying to put you on this.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's fascinating, but doesn't look natural to me.
Okay. Thank you.
So if the structures might not be natural, that meant they had to be engineered.
Again, you can't.
But by whom? To answer that,
I know.
we needed to talk to NASA
It doesn't look
watchdog
natural for Earth.
Richard C. Hoagland.
Here he
said
is.
he'd be with us,
Told
but we
you.
had to meet on his turf, the one place on Earth that most closely resembled Mars. So, Richard, what would explain these structures on Mars?
So, Richard.
Well, not only could there be extraordinary ancient ruins, but we could be launching human missions to Mars.
Coming up, a thriving civilization.
Okay, so what I just shared right here, I can share this tab instead. There we go. It is from an FAA historian. I got it from their website, like the FAA, NSA, and the Navy versus the Furby. Look how cute they were.
That's what they want you to think.
I know. I'm trying to. It spoke Furbish. Started using English words and phrases in place of Furbish over time. Let's see. But anyways, it's only 2 pages long.
How long until it started saying racist stuff?
I'm not sure, but that's the article for everybody if you want to read it. But yeah, it was a whole ridiculous conspiracy that really
Something huge is going on. There's like a lot of sirens and shit. So if I suddenly run off, I'm one of those idiots that runs towards sirens. So just if I suddenly
if you disappear,
disappear,
you want to go see the danger.
and help if I can. Like
Furby's always freaked you out. My sister had one, and like the eyeballs were kind of freaky, but I also grew up like I think my parents didn't like me very much. I had one of those creepy clocks. I'm a 70s child, and its eyes moved back and forth and its tail wagged, and I hated it. I would take the batteries out or unplug it, and my mom would plug it back in all the time, and she'd be like, "Stop messing with the clock." I'm like, "But it scares me." I think they like to torment us back then. They just like to see how far they could push us.
On the red planet, bombshell revelations from a Mars expert.
That's why I am the way I am.
I believe is a buried transportation system.
Then, a NASA astronaut reveals shocking information about a secret Mars program.
I have had a history of being threatened. NASA tells you that you've got to play ball or else.
Here's the connection.
And later, an eyewitness confirms the extraordinary capabilities of the triangular spacecraft.
This craft can reach Mars in 33 hours.
Kerry, Cassidy and I have worked for years to disclose information the government is hiding about extraterrestrial contact. Now, we've gotten our hands on NASA photos showing possible evidence of engineered structures on Mars. To unravel the significance of these photos, we've come to the Arizona desert to meet with space science expert Richard Hoagland.
This is probably the closest analog to Mars you're going to find anywhere on Earth.
Oh, real quick on Richard Hoagland, you'll like this stuff. I forgot because I noted this down. He was the science advisor for Coast to Coast AM until 2015.
so that kind of that goes with the split. He kind of left with Art then, because I remember 2015, some of the like more recent episodes that are databased on our Fudgy database, though there was Art was saying stuff about like, you know, like Welcome to Midnight in the Desert, and I don't want to talk about the other show. Like he wouldn't even mention them by name, and there was like a falling out.
That makes sense then why he quit being the science advisor. Like they give him so many titles on this show. Like he goes from NASA watchdog and critic, Mars expert, space science expert, former NASA consultant, and journalist.
What exactly credentials do you need to be a critic and a watchdog? Because technically we're all Trump critics and watchdogs. So I don't really understand.
Think he's the one I read about that actually only has a high school degree and has fluffed his resume so much that
they all do
it
that.
Stretches your imagination. But he is, and there's an article I also read on him where he actually, and I posted it, here, I'll share it again, Steph, you might be interested. I think you were reading about your fire whistles there, which is understandable. I think it's this one. Yeah. This article that I found on him, looking at him, and he actually weasels his way in it. And this is where I get frustrated with our institutions and media and different things. Like NASA brings him in at one point for a different perspective on viewpoints, and they try to claim it's only because there was only 50 people there. But at this point, this guy was already known for making false claims about the face on Mars and things like that. But they still had him come and speak to people and present along other scientists. I mean,
wasn't Chris Hitchens like chosen by the in his book on Mother Teresa? I'm pretty sure like Hitchens says that he was chosen by the Vatican to be the devil's advocate to fight against the canonization of Mother Teresa. So if NASA's inviting, I mean, it almost gives them legitimacy, but I kind of also understand like why they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like I
but
do
then they go
get
on
that.
to it. Look at where we are today.
Right.
It angers me because you helped precipitate to the issues we're at today. Look at where we are today with conspiracy theories. It's not fun. It's not cute. They're not other viewpoints. They're wrong. And this is where we're today. And millions of people are hurt and families are destroyed because you wanted to have an opposing viewpoint. It's not an opposing viewpoint. It's wrong.
And it's not a case of, and one of my favorite things about him in the Elizabeth Williamson's book, and he talks about how he used to listen to InfoWars because he liked the what ifs. It's no longer what ifs, it's what is.
Yes.
They're no longer pushing what if. They're pushing a fake version of reality. It's no longer a mental exercise. It's a readjustment of reality, and it's dangerous.
It is.
This thing was formed, we think, about 50,000 years ago by an object coming in through this incredible Arizona sky, buried itself in the ground 1,000 feet down.
Hoagland is a former NASA consultant who claims NASA is covering up what
He's
it
not.
knows about life on Mars. He's uncovered what he believes
does have a
to be
great mane of
forensic
hair and a beard.
evidence of ancient
Not with a
ruins
bolo
on
tie.
Mars, anomalous structures, including a photo that appears to show a giant face on the surface of the planet.
I've been looking at photographs taken by NASA, by the Soviets, for almost 30 years.
If anyone could tell us what we're looking at, it would be him.
So, Richard, what would explain these structures on Mars?
If you actually look at this, it looks like it's ruins being eroded out of these sand dunes. What you see here, I believe, is a buried transportation system.
Okay, you know this because you're in touch with people from inside NASA?
Of course. There are people leaking like crazy. There were people that were leaking in the beginning of the Apollo program. And we found little clues buried in that database, which now confirm what we have discovered. You cannot ignore the actual science. I mean, look here. This is a Mariner 9 picture.
Hoagland had brought some intriguing NASA photos of his own.
This is the infamous face on Mars. It was photographed by Viking in 1976. But what the officials say is that it's all tricks of light and shadow.
And it looks like Han Solo
But it's another trick of light
carbonite.
and shadows.
Yeah,
And we know
so
that
what?
now because we have
And?
data after data after data with multiple angles, multiple lighting. It's not a trick. There's no doubt in my mind it's a statue. But because most people are authority
That
driven,
music.
they take the voice of their experts over their own.
You look like you had something to say. That's why I saw your arms go up. Or were you just...
Pareidolia, there was a famous picture. I'm going to look for it right now. There's a picture taken in a hospital room, and all of the angles and all of the objects were in just the right situation to create this picture that looked like a devil was on the bed of a dying patient.
Really?
And it's
I've never
perfect
seen that one.
example of pareidolia. Hospital room devil. Demon, and of course there's a TikTok for it. But
And of course there's a TikTok. Of course there would be.
oh, why isn't it? Maybe if I Google it with pareidolia. Oh, wait. Of course, there's a Facebook image. I'm just going to send you the Google search, and then.
Okay, yeah, then I can pull it up. Yeah, perfect. Then I'll.
But
just
I
share the
read
screen.
an explanation. Oh, should I put it in the live?
No, that's
stream
fine.
chat?
I'll
I'm
just
sorry.
copy paste.
But I read the explanation, and like the part. That's what they're seeing. That's what this face is. And no, and the, an even better example that we have all seen is no, those lights on the roller coaster aren't moving. That
Okay, which one, Steph?
Right there, right there.
This? Okay, let
Yep.
me make it bigger. What's this do?
Yeah, I didn't want to open a Facebook link, but
Oh no, wait, that's gonna make me. Oh, here we
that
go.
looks like a devil on a person's bed, like a hunched over pan devil.
Can I
And
make it bigger? Oh,
it
there
isn't.
we go. Here we go. I think down here.
And it's pareidolia, and that's what they're seeing with this face of Mars. It's drunken octopus wants to fight. The picture of the coat hanger with the slightly askew
Yeah.
eyes, and it looks like a drunk. That this is what
Oh,
we
look,
do.
they broke it
And
down too.
yeah, and this is what I mean, that is a pretty convincing looking photo of a fucking devil, but it's
It is
not.
until you
And
see them pointing out that's actually a coat hanging over there. That's the leg, and there's the bed rail.
and your first thought when you see something like this is, okay, what's the explanation for it? They're looking at this face on Mars picture, and when that first came out, everybody was blown away because that's can't it just be a cool formation that looks
Was
like
I
a
sharing the
face?
tab or was I looking at it myself?
You might have been looking at it yourself.
I
I'm not
was.
sure.
Okay. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
Yeah.
here's the picture. There we go. That's the original picture. And then if you
Yeah.
look, you'll see that it looks like there's a demon. Now, what they do is really good on this one I pulled up here. They actually show the breakdown of what you're actually seeing. Which this is a great example, like, because before when you look at it, it does look like a demon, but in actuality, you can see the body, there's the leg, arm, and a bedroll and a coat,
Oh,
never seen this photo.
that's from Mick West's website, Metabunk.
Oh, is it? Oh, I
Yeah,
picked a good
yeah.
site. Yeah, I've never seen this picture. Huh.
So
Interesting.
but not too many people, or maybe not too many people are familiar with this picture, but I want everyone to keep this in mind when you're like looking. And there was a case of that, and it was a real case where you could see the devil's face in the smoke coming out of the World Trade Center. And then people took another photo later where you could see an angel coming out of the smoke of the World Trade Center. It's a Rorschach test, okay? That's what we're doing. It's pareidolia, and always keep that in mind when people talk about anomalies and stuff like that.
Oh, Myrrh, wasn't there a story of someone seeing Jesus, Mother Mary on toast?
Yeah. No, and didn't it like sell on eBay for a bunch of money?
That happens a lot with images of food I've seen before, and
yeah,
water or mold on walls, and people see patterns in paint and furniture and different things.
And there's a famous short horror story called The Yellow Wallpaper, where a woman imagines that she sees the face of a woman through the yellow wallpaper, and then she realizes that those are real faces, and she gets sucked in the wall, and now she's trying to escape.
Oh gosh, I like stories like that. You made the hair on my arm stand up. I like spooky stories like that.
So pareidolia is the most common thing, and it's one of the reasons why we create it like gods, and that's why the reasons why we created myths and stuff, because we saw these faces in nature and we tried explaining them.
Yeah.
I mean, It's so much more beautiful than what they're making it. It's the beauty of the human mind and creativity, and they're ruining it.
All the time.
Nice. So your watchword is take a look for yourself. That's what you want to tell you. Take a look
What
for
else
yourself.
do you have there?
These are the pyramids located just to the west.
Pyramids.
Space on Mars. You
Pyramids
can see
on
there's
Mars.
this incredible precise geometry. There's no doubt this was a huge mile wide.
No doubt.
Chrysler Corporation on Mars.
Who I think were our ancestors.
Well, there is a thieving,
big.
thriving population on Mars.
Hey,
we do know that
you-
from Kerry Cassidy.
You can't spell Mopar
He
without
said that
MAR.
back when he was a network television science consultant, he was inside a NASA control room when the first Mars space probe touched down.
When Viking landed in 1976, I'm standing there looking.
Okay, I tried to confirm if he was inside the room, and I can't find anything out about that. But earlier reports I see from him is that he was a journalist. So if he was working for ABC, CBS, or some network at that time, it's very possible that he was in the room. And he's going to talk about standing beside Carl Sagan. Now, Carl Sagan and him did have an interaction. And Carl Sagan, I actually have a letter he wrote to a guy who investigated this story, because when they sent the rover up to Mars, not a rover, what did they call it back then? The Viking one. I guess it was a rover.
Sputnik. No, I'm just kidding.
When they sent Viking 1 up, somebody had suggested to this guy, hey, you should tell them they should leave a message just in case. Like if it's found later on, millions, thousands of years, or if there is life, some kind of message. So Hoagland passed that on to Carl Sagan. That's it. End of story. Carl Sagan and other people get together and design this plaque, and they send it with Viking 1. he claims he helped design the plaque and he helped with the message and he's a big part of this. And Carl Sagan's like, nah, that's not how that went down. And every other witness says that's not how it went down. But he makes himself a big part of the story. And, you know.
Well, I have a friend whose dad actually had something to do with some of the technology for one of the space missions because I saw the plaque hanging on the wall.
That's really cool. Well, and I'll tell you, it's a funny story. My friend, he edited porns first. This is how you can move up in life. He edited porns and he worked for NASA, and he actually got to interview two of the women from the Hidden Figures movie, the black women that did the NASA calculations. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's really good. Like they did it by hand for Apollo, like when they got them to the moon. But he got to interview them. So he went from editing porn to NASA. So never stop. You can start anywhere.
Hey, there is there probably isn't untapped, but I mean, there's a genre there, you know, like astronaut sex. I mean,
right? I bet you it's out there somewhere.
0 G's for the G spot.
They
Gotta
made everything.
Someone work on that. Make that movie.
Get on it. I want to see it. Or maybe.
Or
I don't know.
how about Event Horizon as never mind. No.
I love
that would not
movie.
be a good but as a erotic thriller, nope.
No.
Looking at a monitor with Carl Sagan. Carl is on my left. Some NBC guys are on my right. And we're looking at this first color image come in, downlink, line from Mars. And it looks like Arizona.
I saw some of the pictures and said it's a clear resolution.
Well, Mr. President, right now, all we're seeing is a landscape with maybe blue sky and distance.
Then, a few hours later,
wait, I have
the
a question.
head guys sent technicians around to tweak the red.
Yes, ma'am.
So they believe that we've been to space. Is that
they'll get to it. What they believe, what he's getting at right now is that they fake the photos and turn them red so that everybody doesn't believe that Mars has a big, beautiful blue sky. There are 60,000 images plus that they took, that Viking 1 and Viking 2 took when they were up on Mars. I believe it was, they thought it would last like 80 days and ended up there for 6 years. And I'll share all the links. But there's so much cataloging and photos from that, but it'll never be enough for them. And it shows it depends on the dust, the tilts, and the sky's different colors, but they think
So, where does David Icke's fake moon come into play here, or doesn't it?
Boy, howdy, will you be excited to see the astronaut that reignites the fake moon landing show up in this documentary?
Oh, no. David Icke just doesn't just believe that the moon landing was fake. The moon is a hologram.
Oh, it is.
Created by the fourth dimensional prison wardens to keep us within this vibrational frequency prison.
Oh, a prison planet?
Oh.
But
see, that's the weird thing here is with reality. Your reality may be slightly different from mine, but it exists in the same realm.
Yes.
Like even in the conspiracy world, David Icke's ideas don't fit in with this person's, but they sometimes fit in with, there's no consistency. Shouldn't that tell you something? And even as a conspiracy theorist, you should be thinking, this feels like a psyop to throw me off the trail.
It does. And I don't understand. And I get that they don't want to hurt each other's grift. But at some point, they have to look at each other and be like, it's really not making sense. We all can't be telling so many different stories.
There's only so long you can ignore that fart in the elevator. You got to acknowledge it eventually, the turd in the punch bowl.
I don't know how they... it's beyond me.
It's a lot of mental gymnastics. I will tell you, there is a lot of mental gymnastics that go into this, and I've been thinking about it more and more. And what I really felt when I got pulled out was a sense of relief.
It has to. Well, and I believe Sassy talked about that in her experiences of being in QAnon, and just the management of not only the chats and things and, being an admin for stuff, but just the information overload, and having to take all that and the cognitive dissonance and all of that. It just has to be incredibly stressful.
It is. It is immensely.
Because I'm stressed in reality-based information and sorting through that. I can't imagine. I can't.
Yeah.
Knobs on all the monitors in the entire lab. Certain individuals have the political power to keep all of us in the dark about our heritage. They started in 1976 by changing the color of Mars so it would never really look like what it is, which is apparently a lot like Arizona.
An error was made. The Martian sky, the scientists now say, is pinkish.
This is the first color picture of the Viking 2 landing site, proving that this area of Mars is red, just as the Viking 1 site was.
So this corresponds to the real Mars. Look at the sky. It's not pink, it's baby blue.
So NASA had gone to great lengths to hide the fact that Mars' atmosphere is similar to our own, able to support life.
If someone's painting the sky,
they all had to be in on it.
That's a lot of
And
people,
that would
buddy.
point to an even bigger Mars cover-up.
Is it possible they've already been there but haven't told us?
That's part of what we call the secret space program.
What's your personal view about that?
A, it exists. B, they know a hell of a lot more than we know through NASA. And C, there's cover-up after cover-up after cover-up, not only in the NASA area, but in every area.
Hoagland had shown us evidence of life on Mars and of NASA's attempts to suppress it.
He's been tracking this for about 37 years.
he has watched the cover-up step by step with his own eyes. That's what's amazing.
He was there
Kerry.
in the control center when the original images, but he was there and he saw the color of the sky, and then they changed them a couple of hours
That's
later.
amazing.
But did this cover-up extend to secretly sending men to Mars? We needed another look at some recent history.
What we did have back in the 60s were a manned mission to Mars being planned and then scrapped, right?
Yep.
We began where the public record leaves off.
Okay, so there was a band mission to Mars. Hold on. Here, I'll give you a treat real quick.
Who's a woogie woogie?
Hunter wants to talk again.
Just
Okay,
because
so there
he's
was-
a good boy. Yes, he is.
There was a manned mission planned to Mars. They had of course, there goes my cat.
Did they have Matt Damon?
I have a cat. Hold on, I got.
No, you can't have a manned mission to Mars without Matt Damon.
You can't. You really can't.
And potatoes.
They had planned it, but this guy Brian O'Leary, he gets very upset because he's considered part of the. Let me get it. They are called. It's pretty sad. The name actually. Where is it?
The NASA Weepers.
Basically.
What do we want? We don't know.
I know. Okay, Brian O'Leary, that's him. Oh, they're called the XS 11 astronauts. And
are they going to rob a casino on Mars?
I know. How sad, right? So they didn't have a lot of funding for the Apollo program. They had got all of these extra astronauts. And they thought they had a chance to possibly, take these astronauts to Mars. Didn't work out. They, realized once they sent up the Viking 1 that, hey, Mars isn't that habitable. We don't know if we'll be able to get astronauts there time, and I have a huge PDF on it. I'll share too. I haven't had a chance to read it, obviously, because it's like a novel, but it explains everything. There's no grand conspiracy or anything. This, they just had too many astronauts and going to Mars wasn't feasible, dreams and all that of men. It just,
and
didn't
the
happen.
the clone of David Bowie, that's the president of Mars.
Right? I don't think David Bowie, said it was okay that they could come. Oh no, David Bowie, he wasn't dead yet.
And what about Celine and the Raptors that ride the motorcycles?
Oh, what's the Crux or Crucilix?
Yeah.
Crucilix.
I mean,
yeah.
And what this was before? Was this before or after her interview with Solomon?
This is before. This is 2009. Kerry made this. This is when Bill Ryan's still around, and I think they're very much still in love and dating.
Well, this was before she learned the truth.
Yes.
About
because they kind of have a falling out. I'm not sure. I think Pete Peterson has something to do with it. The guy who was like her big whistleblower, and he was David Wilcox's big whistleblower. And he's the guy who gets his house repossessed, and he has like GoFundMe's and stuff. He's a big scam artist.
You could make soap operas on the personal love affairs of these conspiracy theorists, because when you get a bunch of unstable people together and then throw like romance and sex into the mix. Reality TV.
No shit. And there is some. I'd love to know the story behind Kerry and Bill Ryan.
A 1967 NASA program to send men to Mars. Astronaut Brian O'Leary was selected to be on the first flight, but when the program was abruptly cancelled the following year, he hung up his spacesuit and quit. We found O'Leary had moved to South America. He seemed nervous about talking, but we managed to persuade him to stay.
Those are not good signs.
To find out
Bill Ryan lives in
Mars
Ecuador
was
now
the
too.
reason
I think
he left his
there.
country behind.
It was
I'm
in
not even kidding.
67. Was it that you joined up with NASA for the Mars mission program?
Ecuador.
Yes, I was specifically appointed to go to Mars, and the mission was to have taken place in the 1980s. But history got rewritten in 1968. The Johnson Space Center announced that the Mars missions would be canceled.
But your interest in Mars has continued.
Oh, absolutely. The fact is, there may have been a civilization there once that was, basically was wiped out. NASA was covering up quite a bit.
It looks like he just got back from the eye doctor.
Certainly more Earth-like. There was liquid water there.
When they dilate, they put that stuff in the bird.
Dried up river
He's an alien.
lakes. We may be looking at our own future by looking at Mars.
Is there a reason why you're in Ecuador that might be linked to the cover-up?
Yes, there are a number of reasons.
In 2025, doesn't everybody know
NASA
that outer
tells you
space
that
is
you've
fake?
got to play
Not yet.
ball
I know,
with their
right? Come on,
worldview,
people.
or else
God, his eyes are creeping
they
me out.
basically excommunicated me, and I have had a history of being threatened.
He's
and
got
many of the
Whitley
people
Strieber
who,
eyes.
did try to do me in are still around.
He's so old, but they tried to do him in.
Suggests that we just move here.
Do you think that the secrecy extends to an alternative space program, that we have been to Mars, but we're not being told about it?
Well, reports suggest the answer to that might be yes. There are all kinds of secrets that are being held from us, such as
He's getting zapped into another
Brian?
dimension.
We just lost the connection.
Coming up, Bill and Kerry learn about a secret
is
program to
reptilian.
acquire alien technology.
Apparently, they had an original seat from a UFO.
Then, jump rooms to Mars.
Is that guy from Village
The
of the
Mars
Damned?
Traveler shows where he took off.
I'm dying here.
The United States government has had
I didn't even
operational
notice his eyes when I
teleportation
watched it.
capability
I'm
since
howling.
1967.
He looked
team
like that
seeks
the
answers
one
in the
guy
remote
from the
desert and ends
sideshows.
up in a dangerous
He
situation.
did.
Guy that could like smoke through his eyes and pop his eyes out.
They were so big. Oh, so big. The editing is peak, Mer.
I like that guy. There are probably like anime creators who are like that guy, but with eyelashes.
If I don't blink, they can't tell I'm lying my ass off.
Yeah,
Don't blink, don't blink, don't blink.
Blink twice if you're in danger. He just won't blink.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
He's been permanently Clockwork Oranged.
You guys, there are some great guests coming up, and you're gonna love them. Like we are getting. They start off slow. We're coming for the 1-2 punches coming up. There's some great.
Just put it right in my veins.
It's coming. Shadow operation.
Former astronaut Brian O'Leary may have been about to confirm that the Mars program had continued in secret as a black shadow operation.
there are all kinds of secrets that are being held from us, such as by
Fucking eyes, dude. I'm gonna have to screen grab that whenever I
And
like
then,
download this.
suddenly, the transmission went dead. Were we getting too
He's
close
gonna be
to
a
the
stickered
truth?
on Discord.
The Mars witnesses are really in fear for their lives, like
I'm
Brian
sorry,
O'Leary.
but I have
We're
seen
talking.
Kerry Cassidy versus Tech. None of her Skype calls work. Like they're always.
And that's something that you see time and time again with a lot of conspiracy theorists, where they will attribute the most like
benign.
Oh yeah, benign, like weird, just glitches. Like, oh, my laptop turned itself on in the middle of the night. Well, maybe it was set up to install, like, updates automatically or something. And that was something I came across in the Sandy Hook Facebook group. These people were going to this like website, Godlike Productions, and they were just clicking on any link. And then I came across this like obscure article that said that during that time, there was a virus on Godlike Productions. So later on, all these people, they don't realize they have a virus. And they're saying, oh, I think the deep state's like infiltrated my computer. No, you're just an idiot that clicks on any link.
Yeah, and you have
get
no good
infected.
virus protection.
They're the least trusting, yet somehow the most gullible. And I'm speaking from experience.
Oh, it's incredible. Incredible.
About something so hot.
My provisional conclusion
I don't think
is
Kerry
that
wears
there's
a
something
seatbelt,
very
and I
significant
can
about
tell
Mars
because
that
the way
I want
she's
us to know
pulling that
about.
she only did it
If
for
they
the show
really
or something.
have been on Mars
Because
since
my mom does this.
1980s
She
or
hates
even
wearing
earlier,
seatbelts.
then what an
And I make her,
incredible
and she'll
story
pull
to
the
share
entire
with the whole
time.
human race. Why keep it secret?
We decided to reach out to David Wilcock, a writer and researcher into UFOs and ancient civilizations, who has inside information about the possibility
David
of a
Wilcox,
secret
baby.
Mars program.
Now, here's where.
Among
let me
his
just go back a
contacts
second.
are
Oh, wait,
insiders
where's my-
directly
hold on.
involved with the so-called
This is
Montauk
where I
Project.
wouldn't have paid attention before. All right.
About the possibility of a secret.
Right there. Because back in my old days, I would have been like, oh, there's a book behind this dude who's going to tell me something wacky. But this book, because I know who David Wilcock is the reincarnation of Edgar Casey. David Wilcock, along with this author, presents the fact, and David Wilcock goes along with it and tells people that he is the reincarnation of Edgar Casey, who is the sleep prophet from ye olden days. And David Wilcock claims that he is that. And that's what they're presenting to you as a credible source of information.
So,
but I wouldn't have paid attention in the old days. I would have been like, oh, okay. Humdy hum.
Well, Edgar Casey was, and Quacks would probably fact check me on this, and I would ask him to if I'm wrong, but I believe that there was like he kind of came in, I think around the 70s, and I think like didn't Shirley MacLaine give him like a big boost, and he kind of came back and got
older.
bigger.
I think Edgar Casey is like older than that. Hold on. I think Edgar Casey is like ye olden times. Hold on. Like older.
Okay, maybe 50s. I get him mixed up with Charles Fort.
1877 to 1945.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. And I apologize.
No, don't apologize. I was like, no, you're thinking of somebody else because he's like the ye olden. Like he's like the godfather of like the one of them of the I'm getting messages while I'm except he was sleeping. He was taking naps while he's known as sleeping.
Those are called dreams. Those are called dreams.
Yes. And I think it involves like the knowledge fight talks about him because doesn't it involve like is it the Kellogg family, the cornflake people? Like the brothers get together and they have a candy company too. And like they actually, I think it's him or maybe it's another person. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this anymore because I think I'm getting all my conspiracy people confused. Anyways, he does think he's Edgar Casey.
That's nice for him.
Yes, but I wouldn't have paid attention to that book behind, in earlier days. And that caught my eye, like, because now I watch more critically. And I was like, wait a second.
Secret Mars program. Among his contacts are insiders directly involved with the so-called Montauk Project, a secret program researching the very nature of space-time.
Phase one began, I guess, in the early 1960s Apparently what had happened was that they had an original seat from a UFO. The UFO had crashed, and they had taken the seat out, and then they had figured out how to set it up to a power supply. All the energy that's in the chair that's focused by the operator's mind is then sent into this antenna. And it's this sort of shimmering area. And then you actually go to wherever the person in the chair thinks about. So if he thinks about somewhere, then there will be a portal that opens up that actually goes there.
It sounded like Wilcock was talking about space travel through teleportation. I asked him where he'd gotten this information.
An insider witness I've spoken to,
sure,
I call Daniel.
And he was telling you this was all real?
Absolutely. He was an Air Force captain. He had a background in physics and engineering.
But was he saying that they used the chair to travel to Mars? Is this what you're saying?
Yeah. Daniel said that there was a mission to Mars and that they actually found ancient bases and that they're very extensive underground.
Yes,
Extensive
Edgar Casey
ancient
is.
bases.
Yeah, we're talking hundreds
Unique
of thousands
because of
of
how many
years
people
old.
visit and how documented it
You're
is.
looking at this dry,
Hey,
dead,
Taylor.
red planet that at one time
You missed some
apparently
big
was a
eyes.
civilization just like ours.
What
Hey,
happened to the ocean?
Tay.
Where did the oceans
Where did the
go?
oceans go?
Well, that gets into Richard saying that the sky is not orangish; it's blue on Mars. So there
Mars,
must be atmosphere, right?
yeah, Mars was like the Earth.
Can we talk to Daniel?
He's very fearful. Daniel's in hiding. He doesn't even want to be in the public eye because he signed a contract
Yes.
that authorized lethal force in the event that he ever told any of this stuff to anyone. Could be his death sentence.
If we can't talk to Daniel, who do we talk to?
Andy Bisaggio claimed to have been to Mars, and Bisaggio might be the real deal.
Andrew Basiago,
David's
do you know
story
who
was
that
incredible.
is?
Could a secret government space program...
Steph. Andrew Basiago?
Your name again?
Andrew Basiago? I know you
it
do.
Sounds...
He was in Project Pegasus with Barack Obama. They traveled back in time. He ran for president. He was on a Knowledge Fight episode. They talked about him.
Wow, I guess how would I forget?
How could you
that?
forget the guy who time traveled with our president, Barack Obama?
I know about the guy who claims to have given him a hand job in the back of a limousine who was like interviewed by Tucker Carlson or something, but
Oh,
no, he
boy.
smoked crack and gave Obama a handy, supposedly. Talked to Squatch.
Taylor, I did actually find the one episode that Knowledge Fight didn't cover because they only covered 2 of the episodes that Solomon Berg did with Kerry, but not the third one because there's a third episode. Because I think at that point they were like a little concerned because at the second episode, after the second episode, because they were so overt about Alex's middle name and using Dan Jordan and putting Celine into it that they didn't cover it. So I did locate the long lost third episode.
You know what made me feel really good? I just wanted to share this. On the reveal episode, when they actually got Solomon to come on Knowledge Fight for an interview, he mentions like the Knowledge Fight subreddit. And he said there was someone in there that was kind of on to me and they spotted that I really did have a background in anthropology. That was me.
Shut up.
Maybe it was someone else too. But because I've taken like a bunch of anthropology classes, like.
So you were like,
I was like, the way this guy is talking, the way that he is organizing his thoughts, very anthropological. And maybe someone else said something, but I was one of the people that was like really pushing. I think he really is anthropology. And he didn't mention me by name, but I'm pretty sure it was me. Maybe it wasn't, but it still felt good because that episode aired on my birthday.
I'm going to lean towards, I think it was you, Steph. Why not? Let's have a fun conspiracy theory. Let's have a fun one. Whoops. Where was I? Oh, there we go.
Really be teleporting people
Sorry,
to
Kerry,
Mars?
sunglasses are nice.
We needed to speak to someone who had first-hand knowledge of this.
So, Andy, where are we going now? Can you direct us?
We're going down south on Sepulveda here to Imperial.
Andrew Bichardo is a Cambridge University educated researcher and lawyer.
He is not.
He claims he was part of a program called Project Pegasus,
With Barack
a program that conducted experiments in teleportation.
It was being carried out as a black project of the CIA.
Now, he doesn't add
Bichardo
Barack
led us
Obama
to
to
a
his
building
theory
near
until
the Los Angeles
2017.
airport, where he said the experiments took place.
It's this building right here. There's been a major facelift to the building.
I must say, this is not what I was expecting.
He's time traveling out of this building.
So the big picture
to Mars.
The United States government has had operational teleportation capability in which somebody can literally jump through a tunnel in a time-space continuum uninjured.
If
Well,
they
since
wanted to kill him,
1967,
why wouldn't they
68.
just come
I'm
out and
sorry
kill
to
him right
interrupt
now?
you, but
You know too
how do
much.
you know this?
I took
Snatch
2
him
trips
off
to
the
Mars.
street.
How do you know this? I said so.
Tell me, is teleportation actually possible?
Teleportation does not violate the laws of physics.
Then, the investigators find the shocking evidence that blows the
Does.
Mars cover-up wide open.
I don't think I'd ever forget that day.
And later, a dangerous face-off with Black Ops security.
Whack off?
Uh-huh. Whack off security.
No.
I must say, this is not what I was expecting.
Kerry and I were face to face with a man who claimed to have been sent to Mars, but he didn't get there the way we'd expected.
I was 19. I was at
at
UCLA. They put
I need a
CIA
T-shirt
officer
for that
serving my life
company.
as a contact officer. I was asked if I wanted to go to Mars. I said, no, I don't want to go to
No,
Mars. And I
I don't
finally
wanna go.
said to him, why is it essential that I go? And he said, because the survival of the human race depends on it.
What has the CIA got to do
Hold on. I'm going to get this
with
guy's face again.
interplanetary travel? I mean, why is the CIA involved with this at all?
It was initiated under the United
I wanted
States
to get a
Navy,
closer of his face.
ultimately organized around the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA. But the thrust of it was gathering
The survival of the human race depends on that guy. He had to travel to
And-
Mars.
And I also, this is why the level of importance is, there's like a Venn diagram. The more important they say they are, the more full of shit they are. And one of the things is, if you gave me a case of someone like a child, and that child claimed to have been the reincarnated spirit of a shoemaker from the 1800s, I'd be like, okay, let's investigate this. This might be accurate. But why is it that everyone who says that they've been reincarnated, they're fucking Cleopatra, they're
Alexander the
Napoleon?
Great. Yeah, there's somebody very important. Yeah.
So and it's always this level of importance. I would be more likely to believe this gentleman if he were to say something like, well, we were attempting to do this, and really I'm just basically a secretary, but I'm proud to be part of it. Like the humility.
Yeah, they needed volunteers, and I just I was around,
The fact that it's always ultra important, and it's never I have a BA. It's always I have 3 PhDs.
I work for the
Think-
secret group in the United States.
Look, dude. I could maybe take some of your ideas seriously, or a little
Entertain
more
them?
seriously. Entertain them if you were to say something like, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and that's another thing to look for with these conspiracy theorists. It's always overblown importance of themselves or their role in something.
And oh boy, howdy, does he have a website? I visited his defunct website, and it's in between like
GeoCities?
GeoCities. It's almost like GeoCities. It's in between like that kind of GeoCities
And
to the
Angel
new-
Fire.
Yes, it's like a mixture of both. And I was like, oh boy,
I love
howdy.
how we both said GeoCities. God, I love you.
It's right there.
Intelligence for the Central Intelligence Agency. We were actually hiding teleportation from Soviet
I bet Kerry
spies
yanked that
from defense
ponytail.
labs during those years.
Bill
Do you
Ryan's
know if the Russians
ponytail.
have this technology?
Look at that lush ponytail.
I know that they were working on it. I know that we were several years ahead of them.
Interesting.
So maybe we weren't the only people teleporting to Mars. I asked him what was actually involved in getting there.
We would jump from a office building, a CIA facility in El Segundo, California, to an underground location on Mars. We went up to the 8th floor. Lights began flashing. The box that kind of morphed and crunched into a cylinder. And I could see this swirling pattern. The door opened in an underground base on Mars.
Oh, come on.
It looked like perhaps
Level up
an
on that
underground
discernment.
cavern that the Martians had
Taylor
been using,
said,
that we
okay,
had
I'll
sort
give
of
you
built an
one point
infrastructure
on this
inside
guy,
of.
but he is like one
I
of the worst
encountered
liars
3
in
humans
history.
from
Level
Earth
up
during
on
the
that
first trip.
discernment.
And then in the
He
second
doesn't
trip,
have good
we
discernment
walked
skills.
down on the surface and walked for about a half a mile and encountered one of the personnel from the CIA.
But you're saying you walked out on the surface, so the surface air is breathable.
Well, on the first trip, I walked out wearing my respiration equipment. But when I took my helmet off, it was somewhat difficult to breathe, but I certainly didn't begin hyperventilating. I was able to breathe normally.
You could breathe normally on Mars.
Was the
Get
sky
out of here.
blue?
Yes, the sky on Mars is a pale baby blue. And the terrain isn't all rust red. I mean, it's predominantly rust red. I think the area on Earth that comes closest to what Mars looks like would probably be Sedona, Arizona.
Hold on, Steph. I don't know about this conspiracy theory. What is this?
It's basically that the Nazis had a time traveling machine called Die Glock, which translates to the bell. And a lot of that's why I said we're about 3 minutes shy of
I know,
new
and I pulled it
Nazis.
up and I was like, what?
I'm just guessing because where they're going at like the strands that they're pulling at, never having watched this video, it kind of feels like we might, because we're hitting all the big ones. We're hitting Montauk, we're hitting the face on Mars, we're hitting secret space program. They're hinting about Project Stargate, which was the men that who stare at goats. And I mean, once
I
you
can't
go into
imagine why
Montauk,
TruTV didn't pick this up. They must have had some sort of standards. TruTV was like, maybe not.
but I mean, like they're just do they mention moon Nazis in this at all?
I don't think so. They might dabble with language. I don't think so. Project Montauk comes up. I don't think
But
moon Nazis. I definitely would have wrote down moon Nazi.
The bell does it, even though it's like a time travel thing, it does tend to overlap with a lot of like the sci-fi conspiracy stuff.
They're just incredible. It's just incredible. Incredible.
Argo's description of Mars seemed credible, but his method of getting there, that was harder to wrap our minds around.
If, say, you're teleporting from here to Mars, you've got a dynamic system that's moving around the solar system. Why do you pop out on Mars and nowhere else?
I'm a lawyer and a writer, not a technologist. The science of that, I can't answer that. But clearly some form of
This
hyperdimensional
would be
physics was
on the
involved
History Channel.
because of the fact that it
That
did
is
do
what the
that.
History Channel does put on
Since
now.
Andy couldn't explain the physics to us, we decided to speak to someone who could. Sean Carroll is a theoretical physicist, author, and university lecturer.
You know how we talked about how they legitimize shows stuff by putting on legitimate people? This guy,
Yeah.
I looked him up and he has nothing in his history that would lead you to believe he's actually been a consultant for Thor Dark World, I believe. He's like a brilliant person in his field by everything that I can tell by all accounts. And they got an interview with him. I don't know if he knew exactly what the show was about or their field, but this is where I think people who are experts don't do enough vetting before they do interviews and don't think about who they are giving their expertise to, if that makes sense of what I'm saying.
No, I think it does. And I think every person kind of judges other people based on our own morality. And that's something that we, there are some things that are universally right and wrong. And it's basically, like anthropologists have kind of been squabbling about that for a long time. But like rape and murder and slavery and incest are like pretty much the universal no-nos, taboos. And, but we have this. So I just want to make sure I'm not sounding like a moral, like relativist or something, but we do tend to judge other people's like actions based on our own. So this guy probably has good intentions. He's a smart guy. He's got credentials. He studied hard. He worked hard. He's done a lot of work in his life. And he probably assumes that everybody else has the same intentions that he does.
Yeah.
That
and he was younger
that does
here
happen
too. This is 2009. And you look at the work that he's done was he just more naive then? But dude had he was already credentialed, and I like to think he should have known better. I like to think.
But we, I
And
mean,
this is where we got
sometimes
to where we are, though, because people lend credibility to these people. They go on their shows, they do these interviews, and I just don't understand. It frustrates me to a point where I'm a middle-aged mother who has access to the internet, and I had access to libraries before the internet was even popular to check on things. It's just basic. It's easy. It's simple. And at this point, Bill Cassidy, I combined their names, Bill Ryan and Kerry Cassidy were making their shows on YouTube and stuff. So you could see what they were doing and the content they were creating before anybody would come to me, and I wouldn't put my reputation on the line. And I guess that seems like I'm putting my morals on somebody else, but you're an academic. I expect more from academics.
And there's also I'm just trying to kind of think what some of the rationality behind it might be. And one of them could be that, some people still foolishly think that they can jump into the sewer and clean out all the shit. No, you jump into the sewer, you're just swimming with the shit. Twitter is not fixable anymore. That's kind of an example. And maybe this guy has this idea that, maybe he knows that they're all crazy quacks and stuff, but he wants to be that voice of reason, so that's
and
probably
I can tell
how
they
get
stuff
suckered
up a lot. Yeah.
They always
just
do.
so frustrating.
They always do. Yeah.
Specializes in the big battery, dark energy, and extra dimensions. We reached out to him for some answers.
Well, we're investigative journalists, and we're investigating
hyperdimensional physics.
Okay.
That's some heavy
Now,
listing using the title
one of the things
investigative
that
journalist there,
happens
Kerry.
is that we have people coming to us sort of a little bit off record. Some people would call them whistleblowers. And we have heard from multiple witnesses that macro-scale teleportation is an established technology. And is this plausible?
Mm-hmm. It may be plausible that someday we can do something resembling what you would call teleportation.
Is there investigation into teleportation at this time?
Sure, people are discussing something that we call teleportation. That's sort of the atom by atom level, yes.
But your point is that that's not transferable to the macro level. Is this
certainly as a practical matter, it's not. But even,
Not as a
Sean
practical matter,
Carroll
see?
said one form of
Their ears don't want to hear
teleportation on
that.
the micro level was taking place now. But that couldn't explain teleportation on the macro level, like sending a human being to Mars.
So you're saying that Scotty can't beam us up just yet, right?
Maybe someday. Physicists always stress the difference between things that we don't know how to do and things that violate the laws of physics as we understand them. And teleportation does not violate the laws of physics. It's what physicists call an engineering problem. If only we could learn how to do it.
Sean Carroll had confirmed that teleportation
haven't
was
learned how to
theoretically
do it.
possible.
They
I
don't
had
want to
one
hear
last
that.
question to ask you, one that might explain how it could.
Go ahead.
Which physics? Is he talking about traditional physics? Is he talking about string theory? Is he
Theoretical.
talking about...
This is all theoretical physics.
Isn't the nature? Isn't it? I'm not a physicist, but isn't it in the name that it's theoretical? So
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's what he is.
If you're dealing with something that's theoretical, then you can kind of just come up with anything.
Yeah, he is a
Don't know.
theoretical physicist, and he's telling them that no, but in theory. No, but in theory. No, we can't do this, but ideally, that's what he's telling them, but they're not hearing that. It's not connecting,
Could be happening now. What if there was an extra dimension beyond the usual four of space and time?
Imagine that this concrete pathway here, this is four-dimensional space-time, which we live in every day. If there was a fifth-dimensional wraparound, some people call it hyperspace, some people call it subspace, what mathematically would prevent stepping into that space, moving in that space, which doesn't take time because time's over here, and then reappearing in a different location in the world line.
What we know is mathematically we can easily create scenarios just like that. But to do anything like move a macroscopic person into an extra dimension would require far more energy and far more technological capability than we have now or will have for the next couple centuries.
He said, my man, centuries.
It would take us several centuries to develop this technology on our own. But what if we had help? What if we had a prototype to
Oh
work
boy,
from?
here we come,
One
Project
that had
Montauk.
come from another planet.
I think.
Coming up, Bill and Kerry are on the verge of a major discovery.
There's several vehicles right here all of a sudden. Oh my God.
But will they make it past the Black Ops forces?
They're watching what we're doing. These guys are tracking us every inch of the way.
Kerry and I have been investigating unexplained activities on Mars. We decided to talk to the highest level source we could find.
Bob Dean, the
Bob Dean.
granddaddy of UFOs.
Only he could help us put the pieces of this puzzle together.
We really need your input.
Robert Dean is the ultimate government black ops insider, a former Army Command Sergeant Major. He obtained NATO's highest security level, Cosmic Top Secret, when he worked on a deep cover investigation into the potential threat of UFOs. We told him we'd been investigating evidence of strange activities on Mars.
We are getting a lot of information that there is a secret space program. There are shipments going to Mars.
Bob Dean was on
that
all
there
the
is a
Soviet-
constant flow of even humans going to Mars, that there are underground bases and they have been there for quite some time. I mean, what is it you know about Mars, and can you confirm or deny the things that I'm telling you right now?
There has been an extraterrestrial presence on Mars for 100,000 years, for God's
For
sake.
God's sakes. Can't believe you don't know that.
The mass of people out there need to know what this is all about. There is a major ongoing facility on Mars right now.
What can you tell us about that?
There's a space facility which Mariner 9 photographed on the equator years and years ago, which NASA released accidentally, but then they denied they ever took the picture. I think it's a spaceport. I think probably it's where that gigantic triangular objects were photographed.
Gigantic triangular craft. Exactly what Gordon Neville had shown
It
us.
matches.
We
Aren't
were
you
told it's a
connecting the
craft
dots?
that is possibly flying to Mars from a base in Utah.
Yes, underground base.
Interesting.
We go to Mars regularly. We go to the moon regularly.
How is that possible?
We're dealing with major extraterrestrial intelligence. We have science that we use every day that's over 100 years beyond what establishment science has any idea about.
Bob Dean was saying these spacecraft were using alien technology. Could that also explain teleportation?
Because we've been talking to Andy Bishago. Do you know who he is?
He was being teleported to Mars.
Yes.
Why keep it
Sure he was.
secret?
The technology, there is no word to describe the value of the technology. We have had anti-gravity, and we've had zero-point energy
Oh my God,
for
their
over
obsession
40
with
years.
Tesla and the zero
Infinite
discrete
energy
energy.
forever for nothing. But it's not to be shared. It's not to be even admitted. But the average guy out there who's paying for his air conditioning and buying gas for his old clunker does not have any idea.
Bob Dean was talking about the ultimate secret war, a race to control extraterrestrial technology, a resource so valuable that many of the world's most powerful forces are battling
That's
to
about it.
control it.
Have you ever really looked at the evidence? No. There's
Kerry
a
looked at
shadow
him like,
government.
oh, I've looked
It has
at the
its own
evidence.
army, its own air force, its own navy that is totally separate and beyond everything that goes on in Washington.
Looked at it. Hell, he made it.
They're sitting on the technology.
No.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's why I think you're playing with dynamite here.
You're in danger. Meanwhile, Kerry Cassidy's been doing
Bob
this show for
Dean's
15
warning
years.
was ringing in
Cassidy-
our ears as Kerry and I set
Still
out to
alive.
find the top secret military installation in Utah, the one that could be hiding
No
a
Space
launch
Force
pad
yet.
to Mars.
No mention yet.
We'd arranged to
Taylor.
meet Dave Rosenfeld a few miles from the edge of the base.
Dave.
He's a UFO investigator and an actual eyewitness to some extraordinary events in this area.
This whole area is what they call the Utah Testing Training Range.
Have you ever climbed the fence and gone over there at all?
Absolutely not.
What would happen?
Hold on a
Any
second.
idea?
We probably have Apache helicopters.
Kerry does not have investigating boots on. Those are not boots for the desert. They're stylish, but you cannot go across the desert in those boots, Kerry. I'm sorry. You see the heels on those?
Yeah, those got like little, like they're practical heels, but still.
Kerry. I'm sorry. I just happened to notice that. I was like, oh, Kerry.
Not.
What would happen? Any idea?
We probably have Apache helicopters on us within 5-10 minutes.
What is really going on here?
One night we were out here and we heard this crackling noise. And we could smell ozone in the
They've
air.
done a lot of shitty and underhanded things on military bases. We know that back when they were testing nuclear stuff and everything like that. But if you've been on a military base, they do have certain areas closed off for your safety because they do training exercises and different things. Like we were stationed at Fort
use
Polk.
live ammo.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. You can't go to certain areas because it is fucking dangerous. And there are areas that you shouldn't have access to. And there are armory areas and stuff like you just can't. It's no conspiracy or anything. And after 9/11, it went up higher.
And remember the guy who snuck into the National Guard base and stole a tank and drove it around Los Angeles? So, yeah.
Exactly. There are reasons.
Like something burning. And then we seen just beyond this ridgeline here, this beam would shoot up. I mean, it was huge. Through the clouds, up into space. I mean, it was just massive.
Did you take pictures at any point of this beam?
Yes. If you wait here, I'll grab
Can you
one.
imagine how many
Dave
blacks they probably
Rosenfeld's
get out
story
here?
was extraordinary. So was
Trying
his
to
evidence.
climb the fence and do stuff.
Okay.
Through the clouds, I mean, it was just massive.
Rosenfeld's photos showed strange objects over the base, including a beam of light that cut deep into space.
That night, did you get in trouble for being out here?
Yes. I got confronted. These white SUVs block us in. And
What's
they
up
get
with
out.
the
They're
gunshot
pumping their
sounds?
pistols as they're walking up. Very, very intimidating. He says,
It
well, I
makes it
suggest you
more
guys
scary.
turn around and get out of here because the people who follow us aren't as nice. They were trying to scare me.
So
to
they send
never
out the
come
white
out here.
SUVs
I don't think
before
I'd
the
ever
black
forget that day.
SUVs come.
Are you seeing any craft
Black
that
hat,
are
white hat.
triangles, black triangles?
Yes. At night, I have seen triangular craft flying back and forth. One of the contractors I met works on a craft called the Venture Star.
What is the Venture Star?
The Venture Star is a craft that can take people up into space. He says that this craft can reach Mars in 33 hours.
33 hours. There's a secret space
Then we
program,
showed him
Terry.
the photo that started us on this quest.
Have you seen that before?
That looks like the Venture Star to me.
Dave, do you think that craft could be based here?
Yes, I think that the southern runway is one runway that could handle this type of craft.
Can you take us out to this place that you've been talking about?
I
Nothing
try to
tops
stay away from
Minerva.
that
You're
area.
correct,
I can
Taylor.
show you on a map where it's at, but
You're really like afraid of what will happen if you...
I've had too many, close calls with them.
And Dave warned us that we would too.
As soon as you jump out of your truck and start filming, 5 minutes you're going to get confronted.
But we wanted answers. There was no turning back.
Right here.
I'm guessing this guy
Everything in
can't
our
go to that
investigation
area
had led
anymore
to
because
this.
he's been
All
told
the
one more
clues
time you're getting
pointed to the
arrested.
existence of a shadow space program, one that was using extraterrestrial technology to send humans to Mars. We set out the next morning to find the runway Dave told us about. We hoped to get photographic evidence of the Venture Star. We were miles from the base when we noticed something in the desert.
Oh my gosh.
Something that made us realize we were not
He
alone.
does look similar to him.
Look at that. Focus on the ridge.
Yeah.
And sweep across.
Oh, that's
slowly
even worse.
To the right.
That's that dust thing right there. That's a car riding on the dust, right?
Correct. That's how you tell when a Humvee is coming towards you at 60 miles an hour across the desert.
Look, there's several vehicles right here all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Look, did
Exactly.
they just turn around? Oh my God.
Oh my
They're
gosh,
already
we
on
are
their
really in
radar. They're
danger
watching
now.
what we're doing. These guys are tracking us every inch of the way. They do that.
Oh boy.
What are we going to do now?
Let's
Well,
go
there's only one
towards
way
it.
out of here.
Time was running out, but we had to press on. We were so close
Let's go
now
towards the
that we
area
didn't
that
want to
says
give up.
use of deadly force. It's
And then,
authorized.
there it was.
See what I see?
Well, I think there's a runway coming out through those ridges right there. It's cleared ground and it's straight as an arrow.
There was no
Minerva.
mistake. It looked like a runway. This could be
That's
the landing
good.
strip for the Venture Star.
Let's go
Marvin
down
should
further.
get more credit for reaching
We
out
told
to
the
us
camera crew to be prepared for the worst.
Guys, what my suggestion would be is if you're stopped, don't give them the real cards, don't give them anything that we're actually going to need. Give them the stuff from the test shoot that we did the other day. We don't need it.
Despite the risks, we needed to get to that ridge. We were closer than ever to getting evidence of the secret Mars program.
Okay, so there's
Taylor.
the ridge.
We're very, very close.
Let's not go all the way over it. Let's stay hidden.
I'm not sure how much further I can go here.
Probably follow the signs.
Jeez. Look what we got here.
But if you don't follow the signs, Trump will probably pardon you like he
We
did
had
the
company.
J6ers.
Military security.
Eh?
Yeah, they look pretty serious. Now I'm actually concerned.
You should be. You should be.
Let's
Get a
talk
review
to
of
them.
those. Let's do this.
Ma'am, back in the car. Get those cameras out of here. Get those out of here.
Camera alone. Hey,
You gotta get in the car now. Get in the car.
Yeah, just
Bring the
lie to
camera
them.
off.
Great plan.
Can you tell us?
Get those cameras out of here.
Carrie, she got a little spunk to her. Hey, leave those cameras alone.
Was it real, do you think?
Kerry, Cassidy, and I were in the Utah desert. We'd finally found the highly secretive and highly protected military facility we'd been looking for. If our sources were right, this was the site of secret Mars activity. Interplanetary spacecraft,
It says it's a bombing
unusual
area. Let's
runways,
drive right into here.
top secret underground bases, perhaps even jump rooms to Mars. But suddenly, we were surrounded by security forces.
Look what we got here.
And that is such white girl privilege. She gets out. I'm getting
Get
out.
those cameras out of here.
Hey, leave the
Tell
camera
her to stay in the vehicle. She gets out.
In your car now.
Yeah, so worried about
You guys need to get in your car now. Get the cameras out of here now. Leave immediately.
We do need to have some authorization.
The cameras are off. The cameras are off.
Leave now or get arrested.
Come on. They've told us everything we need to know. Now we know where we are, Kerry. But that's all right. People don't behave like that for no reason. They wanted us out of there now. They wouldn't answer any questions. They didn't even tell us whether they were reporting to the military. They didn't have any insignias on their clothing or their car.
I think they did
There's
that
something
at
going
Area
on there.
51
don't
too.
want
They don't
people
have
to
any
see.
insignias
and they
on
were
their
there to prevent us from
clothing
going
when the
any
guards
further.
come out.
They came at us at exactly
I
the
don't know
right
if it's
spot.
private
Just that little
security
ridge.
or if it's
We get
military
run off the
attached.
place, and that's enough to tell us that there's something worth hiding. What we're really talking about is Mars and what this investigation has revealed.
Brian O'Leary told us that when we're looking at Mars, we may be looking at the future of planet Earth. But there's something about Mars which is not just focused on our potential future, but it seems to be linked to our past.
Why
there
don't
has
these
been an
people?
extraterrestrial presence on Mars for 100,000 years.
We've got.
That's very telling. Mars is how Earth will look in the future, but we don't believe in climate change.
I thought that was interesting too. I wrote that down. He was like,
And if you're obsessed with fucking space, like all of these fucking wing nuts are, space is important. We do need to explore space. But these people that are talking about colonizing other planets, they're doing it because they know the Earth is fucked. So instead of trying to fix it with their immense wealth, they just want an escape plan. They don't. They don't even want to acknowledge it.
No, I saw how much they spent on like just Viking 1 and Viking 2. Yeah, it's cool. The pictures from Mars are amazing, but it's billions of dollars. Imagine what we could do for Earth. Like, we waste all of this money, and it's important. Again, don't get me wrong, looking at space, whatever, cool, but it's so much fucking money.
And these conspiracy theorists, just like the fact that they focus so much on space conspiracies and all this stuff, and they mentioned it on the QAA that they had Rothschild on.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
You're going to so many extra steps to try to explain something that is both more simple than you can understand, but also more complex than you're willing to acknowledge.
Yeah.
And that's all this That's all. If you focus on believing that there's some like big secret like Jewish conspiracy, guess what? You're ignoring the real shit that's happening in the world. If you're
Exactly.
focused on secret space missions, you are ignoring and abandoning the earth, which is, and I understand this was from 10 years ago or whatever, but LA wildfires have been a thing for much longer than recent memory. So
yeah,
global warming, we were talking about it, what, back 60s, 50s?
yeah, forever.
I mean, you're so focused. Again, it's a distraction.
It
It's-
is. And, you know, you've talked about stealing things from people and what they stole from you, conspiracy theories. And I came across a 25th anniversary for the gentlemen and scientists who worked on Viking 1 and Viking 2, and they're really elderly. And to see them, the smiles and joy on their face of a project they worked on, real science, real facts. And to see, like, watching this and then seeing that afterwards, like to take that, the accomplishments of these scientists and to muddle it down to all these bullshit conspiracy theories, it's pretty shitty because those guys did something incredible, whether you agree with the money that was spent or whatever, but they were pretty proud and did something incredible that hadn't been done yet. And the joy in their faces and the way they talk about the head scientist and that he never wanted, I mean, it's just an incredible video and I'll share it in the links. I mean, and just that they took that, they're taking that away from those families and those gentlemen that worked on it and the women and, you know, everybody that was part of it.
And the human race, the human race created a vaccine super fast. And instead of acknowledging how incredible and amazing that technological and scientific breakthrough was, everybody's screaming about how it's a deep state plot to depopulate us.
Yeah. Which was an incredible scientific achievement. Incredible.
We can't enjoy the achievements of humanity. We can't, you know, that they like to show you pictures of old Roman architecture and say this is what they took from us. No, what they really took from us was our ability to enjoy those things with apolitically, from a historical apolitical, like that's what they stole from us.
100%.
Is the beauty. We can't enjoy Roman architecture because now it's for, I mean, I understand the salute was a Roman salute. I do get that, but they have
no, but when I think of
inextricably-
Roman architecture and statuettes now, I think of the association with, like profiles I've seen or the way it's been co-opted by the alt-right. Like that's what I associate it with now. Like I don't think, oh, history, just because of what I study and how it's been co-opted. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't think that way, but they made it that way.
If they can't erase it, they rewrite it.
Yeah. But
Or
I still,
co-opt
you
it.
know, I can still enjoy it if I want to, but that's just the way I see it. My mindset is right there. If I see something with Roman architecture, I'm like, oh, are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you a Nazi?
Well,
Are you?
it's like last week with that guy's jacket. Like we instantly went to the, what could that mean?
Are those
You know?
Proud Boy leaves? Yeah. Like we immediately, yeah.
Like they have so co-op, and you know, no one can do the okay symbol anymore.
No. And that used
So-
to be a joke. I don't know if you played it when you were a teenager. If you looked down and like somebody had it on their lap, the okay symbol,
Oh
and then
yeah,
you got
yeah,
punched.
yeah, and then you, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, but now it's like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Craft going back and forth that's using some kind of special technology.
I have seen triangular craft flying back and forth.
When they're taking lots of people in cargo, they obviously have to use a ship.
We go to Mars regularly.
If they have an individual, they can go into a jump room.
We would jump from a office
jump
building to
room.
an underground location on Mars.
What we've got
did you
is a
drop
range
some
of
acid
puzzle
or were you stuck in a
pieces, and
closet?
some of them fit and some of them don't fit.
I think
But the
that's what
ones that
happened.
don't fit are
He mixed
so
some
interesting
chemicals in
that
the
we
cleaning
can't throw them
closet.
away.
We have a shadow government
He got
that is
MK'd.
totally separate and beyond everything that goes on in Washington.
What is the reason for the secrecy?
There is a war going on here on Earth that is an unseen war.
The idea
Unseen
of going
war
to
on
Mars,
Earth.
the idea of teleporting
What a
to
leap,
Mars,
Kerry.
the idea of having an advanced spacecraft. Why not share that with the world? There's got to be an answer to that question. And the answer to that question is has to be so important that none of us are permitted to know.
Oh my gosh. I don't need new tires, but stay tuned for the next episode.
We're going to have to be smart. We're going to have to be strategic. We're going to have to be aggressive.
I'm an alpha guy.
I'll flip a table every time you aren't getting by.
Let's go. Just push.
It's all psychological warfare.
I'm not part of QAnon.
We know what they are doing.
For Trump. Ba, da, 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 da.
If shit goes wrong, like, I will literally have to leave the country.
Stop that.
I'll land my initial plane.
Okay, high five. This isn't the hi-fi show.
Good night. Nighty night.